Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is the Vulgar Marxist, and tonight we are going to have a grand and wonderful time because the World Health Organization has now added gaming disorder, i.e. video game addiction, to its list of diseases. Now, for most of you unfamiliar with this, gaming addiction is an imaginary fake thing capitalists made up to explain why recreational time should be defined as a form of disease. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, those in charge of the economy want you to think that taking time off from work means you have a mental disorder. Isn't that wonderful? Clearly, not wanting to slowly kill yourself for the benefit of capitalists is some form of mental disease and degradation that you need treatment and counseling for. Because obviously, your life has no purpose other than working. Now, before we proceed, there is a wonderful gentleman on Twitter called Bullshit Jobs. I'm not joking, that's his account name. I don't know if it's a he, it might be a female, it might be a they, them, other person. No idea. I'm going to refer to him as male because I'm pretty sure he's male. He comes off as pretty aggressive about this, and frankly, I approve of that. His entire shtick is explaining to people that the amount of time they are working, and very frequently their entire job, is completely unnecessary and pointless and serves only to benefit people other than the people who are working the job. And I salute him for this. Seriously, right now, go to Twitter, type in bullshit jobs, give that fellow a follow. He deserves it. And I am dedicating this entire video to him because he is doing amazing work and it needs to be promoted more. I honestly think he may be the only person pushing what he's pushing, and this used to be bread and butter socialism. So again, bullshit jobs, go to Twitter, give him a follow. But what, you may ask, is gaming disorder? Let's answer that question. We have here a brief list of criteria, and we're going to have some fun with these later. But number 1, impaired control over gaming. Number 2, increased priority given to gaming to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other life interests and daily activities. And 3, continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. The behavior pattern is of sufficient severity to result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other important areas of functioning. So that's our definition. Now, again, we're going to have so much fun with this in a bit, but I want to address something interesting before we go there, because where this is coming from is very, very fascinating. What does every single person involved in this criteria, and yes, this is the official criteria they're using. Please go to this webpage. It's right at the top. I left it there for a reason. Go to this webpage and look at this. This is the criteria, the questionnaire, I'm going to go through it below, that the World Health Organization is using to determine whether or not someone is addicted to video games. What does every single person involved in the creation of this questionnaire have in common? There's one word, it's right at the end of their annotation. It's right there, it's right at the end. Not going to highlight it. You can figure out what it is, folks. All of them are from China. China is leading the charge on people not being able to take time off from their jobs. I could do an entire video on state corporatism based on this and this alone, but we're going to save that for another day. Because today, what we are going to do is go through the criteria listed on this webpage right here, and we're going to flip the script. No, sorry, we're not going to flip the script. We're going to yeet the script, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take that script and toss it like a cat, because this needs to be done. So, let me go through what we're about to do with this questionnaire. What we're going to do here, oh, it's going to be so much fun. we're going to switch two words out in each of these questions. We're going to take the word playing the game and replace it with the phrase working a job. That's it. That's all we're going to do. Nothing more. And we're going to see how many times working a job fits the criteria listed in this questionnaire. Now, let's have even more fun. Even more fun, boys and girls. Let's add a counter. That's right. I'm going to count the number of criteria working a job is appropriate for in this questionnaire for, drum roll please, the labor aristocracy in the United States. That's right, gentlemen, by the highest standard of the most august and noble and enfranchised and privileged workers of the world, we are going to see how many times this questionnaire says they are addicts to their jobs. Isn't this going to be fun, guys? This is going to be so awesome. Here we go. I will work my job uncontrollably sometimes. No, I work my job uncontrollably all of the time. I'm a proletariat worker. I don't get to not work a job because otherwise I'll freeze and starve to death. So, yes. Number 2, when I see or call to mind something about my work, I can't help working my job for a while. Not really. When the device for working my job is in my sight, I will want to turn it on and go work. No, I have no inclination to turn my truck on simply because I happen to have seen it. Once I start working my job, it is hard to stop. Yes, my boss gets really pissed off if I randomly stop working my job for no particular reason. So that's an absolute hell yeah. Even at inappropriate occasions or times, I will still go and work my job for a while. The first thing you get told as a truck driver is you're going to miss a lot of birthdays, a lot of concerts, and a lot of Christmases. So absolutely yes. I experience some discomfort, e.g. decreased vision, dizziness, muscle stiffness, or wrist pain after high-intensity working my job. Absolutely. I end every day with muscle cramps and a headache. Why? Because I'm staring at a window for 14 hours, usually into direct sunlight. I intend to work my job less recently, but actually there is no reduction in working time. No shit, Sherlock. That's just a giant der moment because we don't choose how much we work. I work longer or more often than the upper limits I set for my working time. Yes, I do. Again, I don't get to pick my work hours. My boss does that for me. If my time is scheduled by myself, I work a job first and put other things on the back burner. As I just said, I don't schedule my work time. My boss does that for me, and I assure you, everything goes on the back burner because he thinks it does. To work a job as soon as possible, I am perfunctory in the everyday things that I have to do. You pretty much have to be in order to work a 70-hour-a-week job. This isn't even optional. You have to very carefully schedule your non-work activities to fit into the extremely small and limited amount of time you're not working. I miss regular meals or sleep time because I have to work my job. 2 words, ladies and gentlemen, truck driver. When I work my job, I pay no attention to my personal hygiene. See previous 2 words. If others' demands occupy my work time, I feel upset. You want to watch a truck driver completely lose their shit. Tell them they can't get loaded for 5 or 6 hours because the warehouse has not taken the items to be loaded into their truck off of the shelves yet. Oh boy, have I watched that screaming match several dozen times. Although some activities provoke my interest, I refuse to participate in them because it will delay working my job. Yes, nearly all of them. I feel that the things people are excited to talk about are not as interesting as working my job. Not a problem I personally have, but I have certainly seen more than enough people who do have that problem. To work my job, I cancel or postpone the leisure activities in my plan. I think we covered this one already a couple times. A lot of birthdays, a lot of concerts, a lot of Christmases you're not going to be there for. So, quick aside on these next few. I'm going to skip the entire B series because they're the same question over and over. And because these specifically ask about working, we're going to replace working with socializing or being with your family. All right? So once more, off we go. Because of working a job, I don't have enough time and energy to get the right things done. Who defines the right things? But if by right things you mean, hang out with friends, being with my family, going on vacation, then yeah, working a job pretty much includes all of those things. Working a job interferes with my ability to hang out with my family or learning tasks that I should complete. Yes, it absolutely does. I can't get an education because I'm working 70 hours a week. Because of working my job, my performance in homework, academics, or family life does not match my ability. No, it doesn't. Working a job almost completely precludes any significant level of dating, certainly any significant level of childcare. There are multiple studies showing single-parent households have massively negative consequences on children because the parent literally is spending all of the time working and cannot take care of their kid. Because I am working my job, my family members or friends express their disappointment with me, argues with me, or becomes distant from me. Yes, I've lost contact with nearly all of my friends because I'm working a 70-hour week, and my family members continually complain that I'm driving a truck and not doing something significantly more glamorous or interesting. I have common topics only with people who work my job. I do not know what to say to someone who does not work the same job I work. Not a problem I have. I do know people who have that problem. We've all met that guy. I am worried about my future because I work my job too much. Yes, absolutely. My job has staggering health implications. Many labor jobs do. And generally, if you're intelligent enough to understand the dangers of your job or the hazards of your job, you're probably worried about them. I have negative feelings after working my job. Yes, I do. I usually spend half an hour sitting in my truck at the end of my day wanting to scream and punch my windshield because people keep doing stupid things and my dispatcher can't figure out what the heck his job is, which of course negatively impacts my job. I experience sustained negative impacts from working my job on my health. We just covered this. Pretty much all of those, weight gain, sleep problem, neck and shoulder damage, happen to truck drivers, along with construction workers, and I'd imagine a significant number of other people. My cousin works in an office. She now walks with a cane because her legs have atrophied. So, absolutely yes to negative health impacts from working a job. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 22 out of 24 questions confirmed. Do you believe that if some young Chinese kid got 22 out of 24 questions answered yes on this survey, they would not immediately have him in counseling and evaluation for a massive and staggering addiction? And yet 22 out of 24 questions answered correctly, and no one even bats an eye that maybe our culture of work in America or China or anywhere else for that matter is a major problem. 22 out of 24 questions answered in the affirmative, and I guarantee you this video is just going to pass away quietly. No one's going to say a word about it. because no one wants to stop and think about the impact our culture of overworking has on workers. I'm going to ask a huge favor of you guys. Broadcast this as widely as you can. Repost this video everywhere you can think of. If you're on a Discord, put it on the Discord. If you're on any kind of forum board, put it on the forum board. Anywhere you can put this, put this. It is long past time we had this conversation. 22 out of 24 questions in an addiction survey, and all you have to do is change the criteria from playing video games to working a job. And nobody questions this problem.